Bill O'Reilly is going to give us a classic Bill O'Reilly moment here. Look at his perception of both religion and climate change.
Now, Professor, people choose to believe. I mean, it's a choice, a conscious choice. And you say you're surprised that more people believe in the birth narrative of Jesus that comes from the Bible, the New Testament, than in global warming. But it's a little misleading. It's not that they don't believe the Earth is getting warmer. Anybody who can read a thermometer knows it is. They don't believe that it's been proven conclusively that it's because man is doing certain things, that's why the Earth, there's a natural cycle in the Earth, as everyone knows, and so people want to see a little bit more. But it's easier to believe in a benevolent God, the baby Jesus, than it is in some kind of theory about global warming. It's just easier, is it not?
Instant Secular Talk classic clip right here. Instant. It doesn't even matter what the fuck my commentary is right now on that alone. Instant classic. It's easier to believe in the baby Jesus than it is to believe in science. No, Bill. That's only the case if you're ignorant, if you're an ideologue, and if you are married to your culture over knowledge and education and learning and data. But he presents it like it's so obvious, doesn't he? Well, obviously, believing in the baby Jesus makes more sense than believing in climate change and that whole science thing. Or am I wrong? Yes, you would be wrong. And even the point when he says, well, people choose to believe. It's a choice to believe something. If you're like a toddler, sure, right? Because you think, oh, the Tooth Fairy, oh, the Easter Bunny, I choose to believe in them, yay! But then as you get older, you learn how beliefs are really formed, or how intelligent people form their beliefs. And what do? What you do is you educate yourself. You look at all the evidence, you look at all the data, and you allow it all to pile up on itself until it points to the conclusion that one should believe. So there's a process to figuring out the truth. It's not just you're at the starting line and you go, I'm just going to pick what I like. It's not like knowledge is equal to ordering food at lunch. Should I go with the bacon cheeseburger or should I go with pizza? I'm not sure. Or maybe the tacos. I choose that. That's not how it works with science and knowledge. It's not like, well, we could go with the theory of gravity, or we could go with Krishna using magic fairy dust to make everything work properly, or we could go with Martians. No, you could choose if you want, but that's a silly way to approach life and to learn things and to gather information. You should look at the evidence, let it pile on top of itself until you go, oh, okay, that's overwhelming evidence, that must be true. But I also love how they sidestep now. Notice, this is what the more intelligent conservatives, which isn't saying much, by the way, what they've learned to do now is a tap dance on the issue of climate change. Because the science has become so immensely overwhelming that you can't just say what they used to say and what unfortunately a lot of them still say, which is it's a liberal hoax and, it's not happening at all. A guy like O'Reilly's a little smarter than that. So he goes, well, yeah, it's getting warmer, but that's probably because of the natural cycle of the Earth and not because of humans. Well, that makes absolutely no sense, Bill, because who's driving the cars? Baboons? No, humans are pumping fossil fuels into the atmosphere, and fossil fuels add to carbon in the atmosphere. So when there's an increase of carbon in the atmosphere, that leads to an increase in temperature. And that also increases the greenhouse effect, which, by the way, is the reality that the sun comes in, right? And then it tries to bounce off and get back out, but the greenhouse effect means it can't because it basically hits and stays in our ozone, essentially, and it makes it so that it gets hotter. So we know that humans are contributing to it. The same scientists that say global warming is happening, we have the data, are the same scientists that say we know humans are contributing to it. So he tries to sidestep and dance and get around it, but the final thing I'll bring up about this is you really know how brainwashed O'Reilly is when he, not only does he say, hey, it's easier to believe in God than it is to believe in climate change or science. No, he specifically said the baby Jesus. Why? because, again, that's what he was raised with. Bill O'Reilly is the kind of guy where if he was raised in a different society at a different time in history, he would be a fundamentalist Hindu. If he was raised in a different area, he would believe in fundamentalist Shinto. He'd believe in the Greek gods or the Roman gods or Mormonism or Scientology. If he was just raised in a scenario where his parents were X, you fill in the blank. And that really is sad and unintelligent because it shows you he hasn't reached this minimal level of objectivity where you step out of your own shoes and you look at all the options. Okay, let me look at everything. Thousands of religions throughout history with thousands of different cultures. Some gods are single gods. Other gods are, there's multiple gods. Some people don't even believe in gods, but they believe the universe is a god. Why are you not looking at all the options and evaluating based off that? No, you just happen to be born in the one culture that got it exactly right, and the only reason you believe that is because your mommy and your daddy told you so.